Mm.
I'll fix it. Sorry. I'll fix it. Sorry. I'll fix it. Sorry. All right. Hello, everybody. Welcome. So great to look out in this virtual audience and see all of you out there around the, well, around the world or the States or Canada. Very happy to have you here. My name is Kim Lavone, and I am the producer of Improbable Comedy. And we are so excited to be bringing this show to you tonight. We are partnering with Comedy as a Second Language, which is a show that Carol Zoccoli started in Toronto. And together we are bringing you this show called Immigrant Stories. So we're so happy to have you here. My job is to help you be an amazing audience on Zoom. So I'm going to give you a few pointers, and you can, I'm actually going to screen there way better. So things you can keep in mind as the show is getting started. So the first thing is that you have reaction buttons on Zoom, and you can do the clapping emoji, and you can do a thumbs up. So if the performers are doing something that you like, definitely feel free to show them a little bit of love. We are also going to unmute some of you, not all of you, because we have found that that is very loud. But if some of you would like to be unmuted and participate very actively in the show, please feel free to either raise your actual hand or raise your virtual hand, which is also another one of the settings. And so once you raise your hand, then we'll know that you would actually like to be able to be heard, meaning if you're going to laugh or say, then we'll be able to hear you. So we're going to unmute a few of you. So please let us know if you'd like to be unmuted. And also another way that you can interact and engage during the show is to put something in the chat. Now, if you are out there in YouTube land, the chat will work delayed, like we'll see it tonight. But if you're here on Zoom with us, you can feel free and put something in the chat. You can say, love that story, or the same thing happened to me, or oh my gosh, my mom is exactly like that, or whatever you want to say, feel free to put it in the chat. The performers will enjoy that, and it helps us feel kind of all of us more engaged. We are very happy to be bringing this show to you in this time particularly. We are really motivated and engaged and inspired by the movement for social equality and the commitment to protect Black lives. And very often I just kind of encourage people to get active and get involved. And I will say, tonight I actually have a specific request. So we actually are noticing that Zoom has a kind of a little bias in their camera and lighting system, and it's very flattering for people with light skin and not so flattering if you have dark skin. So feel free after the show to write a little note to Zoom and say, I saw an amazing show on Zoom called Immigrant Stories, but here's what I noticed. It would be really great if the lighting was fair and equitable for everybody. So that's one way that you can be part of the solution, and that would be great. Now, moving right along. Okay, if you'd like to support the show, we appreciate contributions that everybody made so far, but feel free to go back to Eventbrite after the show, make an additional contribution. Very important to support live comedy, live storytelling, live theater. Even though this is virtual, they're still real people and they're alive and they need to feed their families. So feel free to support in that way. Okay, that's all the intro. Any questions? Feel free to give a little shout, put something in the chat if you don't understand. Do we have folks that are unmuted? Would you like to be unmuted? All right, well, feel free to raise your virtual hand. Oh, there, we've got Steve Johnson. He's like, yeah, I'll be unmuted. That'd be amazing. So that's good. And right now I'm going to introduce your host and get this show started. We have a very nice lineup of storytellers tonight. I'm so excited. Some of them have performed for us before. Some of them will be new to you. But we have just a great group of storytellers. So without further ado, I'm going to introduce a woman who I completely respect. She is funny. She's badass. She's accomplished. She's Brazilian. Her name is Carol Zoccoli.
What is up, guys? Hello, everybody. I'm so happy to be here with you guys. You know, it's crazy. I'm in Toronto right now, so thank God I'm not in Brazil. I am from Brazil. And usually here, people, here in North America in general, I would say that people always think like South American women. I'll look like Sofia Vergara, right? Well, thank you guys. Thank you so much. I'm glad that you think that. But I mean, I do think that it is. Are you guys, are everyone here in the isolation? Are you guys isolating or are you guys working? I mean, I'm trying to connect a little bit, but I imagine like half and half, a little bit of you isolated, a little bit, yeah. I'm isolated with my husband, and my husband plays drums. Not only that he plays drums, he has a whole percussion set. Like I'm in isolation with the Caribana guys. You have no idea. It's hell. It's hell. But I do think that immigrants, for us, the experience of the pandemic is different for non-immigrants, you know, because we immigrants, we have seen our governments like shut down like 3 times in our lifetimes, you know what I mean? If you think that Bolsonaro is bad, at least he's human, okay? Because in Brazil, we once had elected a congressman, a circus monkey. I'm not even, the circus monkey was a famous monkey, okay? Monkey Tom, everyone loved Monkey Tom. Monkey Tom won the election, okay? Monkey Tom was better than Bolsonaro, to be honest. Well, Monkey Tom was great, made everyone happy, you know? But I've seen some friends here in Canada freaking out about the situation, the crisis and everything. I do understand, but I mean, I think Canada is doing great, okay? Because I think Canadians have been social distancing for years, for like for forever. I mean, I remember when I first got here, and I saw a guy from the improv class on the streets, and I was like, hey, Josh, how are you? And I hugged him on the street, and the guy, he didn't know what to do. He was like, what the fuck's going on? He was paralyzed like a Lego piece. Like, and I was like hugging this Lego piece. It was very weird. Because, you know, guys, Brazilians, we are huggers. This is, I'm going to share with you a Brazilian invention for the, yeah, just to hug people. So that's it. That's it, guys. If you see me, I'm going to hug you. Not right now, but I mean, after that maybe I have a suit, a plastic suit like this one. But I do think like one thing that is very difficult for me here, I've been living here for around 6 years here, and it's very hard to speak English, guys. Very, very hard. You guys are doing great. Congratulations. I don't, you know, and I've been training with an accent coach, you know, but I'm afraid to lose my accent completely because I have broken English. If I don't have an accent, people will think I'm just dumb. Oh, believe me, it's better to hear, go back to your country, than go back to school, you know. And I learned English by myself, and music helped me a lot. But I have to say that I was very disappointed when I started to understand what pop songs lyrics really say. You know, all I do is win. Sometimes you lose. Sometimes you have diarrhea. Huh? Do not lie to me, DJ Khaled. Do not lie to me, okay? It is hard to speak English, and sometimes also my brain has an English fart, you know, like an English fart, like a that fart suddenly Brexit, you know. So and sometimes my brain makes all the words. So I was in a coffee shop the other day, and I have to go to those hipster places to get coffee, to get real coffee. I'm from Brazil, guys. I can't drink this tea you guys call regular coffee. Come on, what the fuck? I don't. Sorry. Sorry. I'm used to Brazilian coffee, guys. Brazilian coffee is very strong. I drink a cup and I can run a marathon. Okay. Before that, I'm gonna shit my pants for sure. Run marathon. Yeah. Brazilian coffee is the best thing for people who wish diarrhea. Best thing. Not gonna lie. That's why we have so many Brazilian supermodels. Those bitches love diarrhea. Yeah, I'm telling you. Telling you. That Brazilian Uber model, Gisele Bündchen, never had a hard shit in her entire life. That's why she's so thin. Brazilian coffee, people. That's it. Don't diet. Just drink Brazilian coffee. So I was telling you the story that I was at this hipster coffee shop, and I needed a napkin. I needed a napkin, and my brain had an English fart, and I say, hey, please, can I have a kidnap? I said kidnap, and the guy was staring at me, and then I realized what I did. And then I said, oh, no, it's because I'm from Brazil. Violence, please take me, right? That's crazy, guys. But I mean, as an immigrant, you know, we are always trying to fit in, you know. I myself, I'm always trying to find things in this culture that would be similar to my culture so I can feel comfortable, right? And I finally found a movie that speaks to me, right? Because last holidays, I watched Home Alone. Great movie. Great movie. Home Alone is the story of a little white boy who's forgotten by his parents in his house. Then two burglars try to break into his house, right? The same thing happened to me. I am the Latino Macaulay Culkin, I think. Yeah, I am. I was about 11 years old when I see a man breaking into our house. And I was there by myself because my parents left me there, right? They didn't forget me, by the way. No. They just left me there because that's parenting in Brazil, you know? This movie plot would never be a success in Brazil, okay? Home Alone, so what? Grow up. That's it. Right? And I was there. I was playing with dominoes. You know, my dad gave me a domino set because it was cheap. You know, the reason why I'm good at logic, but I can't have a job because I never had a Barbie to inspire me to get a job. You know, Barbie works so much, right? Barbie is the proof that capitalism was dead before the gig economy. Okay. So I was playing with my set of dominoes. I heard a noise in the backyard. I look through the window and I see the guy in our backyard about to break into our house. The difference between Macaulay Culkin and I is that in my house, I couldn't do any tricks that we see in the movie, right? The slippery stairs, the tripping ropes, right? We did have big spiders though. I think everything you need to know about me is that I grew up killing this kind of spiders. These spiders are nasty, guys. Those spiders, they don't die. One of those spiders killed my dog. Okay, and those spiders, like they never die. They never die. Like you hit it with a stick like 100 times, it doesn't die. You have to throw it on fire. So I spent my childhood with a bottle of gasoline and a matchbox running after tarantulas, you know, until the day I accidentally threw the kitchen on fire. You know, but I also killed the spider. So war is war. They killed my dog. I got one of them. That's it. So I didn't have any resources that Macaulay Culkin had, you know. So I had to go for the guns, right? Because he had a lot of guns at home, but that just because of my dad's job, you know, because my dad used to work as a criminal. So, and my dad taught me how to use a gun when I was about 9. But I was a child, so I had only used the small guns, the pistols, the Berettas, never the rifles, right? Because I was a child, that would be crazy, you know? But that day, I was about fun, you know? I was just a girl. Girls want to have fun, you know? So I grabbed the rifle, all right? But I am 4'11" today, guys. You can't see me, but I am very short, right? And so when I was 11 years old, I was rifle size, okay? So I go to the window, I position the rifle on the window stop. Then I thought, oh, if I look like my dad, the guy would be more scared. So I grabbed my dad's hat, I grabbed one of my dad's cigarettes, got back to the window. The guy wasn't looking at me. So to catch his attention, I shot, right? I shot at him, guys. I didn't shoot the guy, okay? Because I just want to have fun. I didn't want to spend my afternoon burying a motherfucker, you know? I shot a gun, boom. And if you ever had the experience of shooting a gun, the gun recoils. But that was a rifle, and I was like 3'11", right? So I fell on the floor. Then I was just like Indiana Jones, like grabbing my head, you know, like, I shot, right? I shot at him, guys. I didn't shoot the guy, okay? Because I just want to have fun. I didn't want to spend my afternoon burying the motherfucker, you know? No?
Somebody's watching you.
On delay too.
It's okay. Yeah, this is online thing.
Now you can hear your own jokes.
I can hear my own story and like enlighten myself, you know, like just. Okay, so where I was, okay, so I was on the floor, right? Gun recoils, boom, on the floor. I jump back to the window with the head. The guy sees me and he freezes. Because think about it, this guy had just broken into a house, heard a shotgun, looked at the window, nothing. Then suddenly pops up an 11-year-old girl with a fedora hat and a rifle in her hands, you know? And he said, what are you doing, menininha, which is Portuguese for little girl? He was patronizing me, right? Which is kind of normal. Everyone patronizes children. Not when you have a rifle, you know? So I shot at him again. And I held him hostage for about an hour. Now, the hard thing about holding a burglar hostage is that you don't know what to do to entertain him, right? So after half an hour of him sitting on the floor and me with the rifle at him, I decided to sing. And I sang only one song, Pump Up the Jam by Technotronic. And I sang like 3 times in a row, and I didn't even speak English at the time. So it was just like, whoa, whoa, away, whoa, whoa, away, whoa, whoa, away. It was a little bit of an alternative theater. And then, of course, eventually I let the guy go, you know, because my parents would arrive. My parents never let me have a pet, let alone a hostage, you know. But if you guys remember the movie, Home Alone, Macaulay Culkin screwed up the burglars. The hot iron in the face, the torch in the head, those guys were in the hospital after, right? My guy was alive, healthy, enjoyed the free show, you know? So what I learned from that movie is that we better watch out, guys. White children are too violent. better watch out. When with this words of wisdom, I think we are ready to start the show, aren't we?
Yeah.
Can I see some reactions here? Or what? Can I see some reactions here? This is so, guys, like when I'm doing live shows, like I'm very energetic. And it is so hard for me because I can't be like all crazy like this here. I can't, because this is gonna be weird for you. So I'm like a bomb of energy right now. If I do what I want to do, I'm gonna do like, let's start this motherfucking show. What's up, guys? So this is the energy I want to bring to this motherfucking room, guys. Yes. Crazy. We're crazy. We're in isolation. I'm crazier than ever, guys. Also, we're gonna have a fucking amazing show. I'm gonna invite to the stage, to this little online stage, the co-producer of the show. He's been to Just for Laughs. He's been to the Winnipeg Comedy Festival. He's been on CBC. This guy is amazing. He's my good friend. I love him and you love him as well. Put your little online hands together for Leonard Chan.
Hey, how you guys doing? I can't tell because we're not live. This is weird. This is weird. But I'm very happy to be here. I'm in my basement. This is a real brick wall, so I can feel like I'm still doing comedy where I'm comfortable, all right, in a back alley. Yeah, online comedy is a little bit weird. We're adjusting, right? Because I can't hear any of you, which is really bizarre. But don't worry, you know, like my ego does most of the heavy lifting. Like anytime I tell a joke, this is what happens in my head. I'll see you guys later. So that's what I see in my head. So I'm doing all right. But yeah, so this is, I don't know if you can tell through the internet, but I'm Chinese. I mean, it's better live, but it's still, you know, it's still pretty good. My parents are from Hong Kong. I grew up in Canada. So my entire childhood was a mixture of white and Asian stuff, right? So like peanut butter and jelly fish, which is delicious, by the way. Mwah, jellyfish, no, love it. But yeah, I'm very happy that I'm in Canada because my parents could have moved to America, which is not doing so great right now. But yeah, I'm very happy to be here in Canada. We have Justin Trudeau. He's no Monkey Tom, but he's all right. You know, he's all right. Justin Trudeau, he's our Obama, right? He's young, he's handsome, he's black. Oh, that's fun. That's fun, right? All right, that's it. I don't want to talk about politics. All right? I want to tell a story about my parents, my Chinese parents. I don't know if anybody else here has Chinese parents, but if you do, you probably know that they're very superstitious people. All right, like because Asians are just very superstitious. Like a lot of people are superstitious, but like Asians take superstition to the next level. Or like Westerners are like, oh yeah, you break a mirror, you get 7 years bad luck. Asians are like, oh yeah, if you clip your toenails at night, your family will die. It's crazy. All right, we believe insane stuff. Like there's there's a stereotype that Asians are smart. No, we're not. We're not smart. Like the other day, I almost walked into traffic playing Pokemon Go. Like we're not a smart people. All right. At the end of the day, like here's the thing. Like there's so many Asians. And I think the percentage of people that are smart and stupid is the same regardless of race, which means that the highest population in the world is stupid Asians, all right? There's so many. That's just math, all right? That's just math. But like we believe all sorts of insane stuff, all right? Like we believe that if you like drink tiger wine, like wine made out of tiger penis, it'll, improve your manhood. That's crazy. That's crazy. Like, why would you? Don't do that. Tigers are endangered species. You know what's not endangered? Grapes. What's wrong with grapes, man? Like, grapes are very manly, all right? Grapes are the testicles of the fruit world, all right? Don't kill tigers, all right? Like, if you really need to feel like a man and you need tiger in your mouth for that, go blow a live tiger. Like, even if it doesn't make you feel like more of a man, at least you've made a friend for life, okay? I've totally fucked up some childhoods. But anyways, the whole point of this thing is like my parents are very superstitious. All right, like they believe that you can cure headaches with cups and fire. They wouldn't buy a house because of the number 4 in the name. They told me the other day, they're like, hey, if you put like a bunch of pennies in the door frame, you'll be rich. I'm like, yo, I'm a Canadian comedian. I don't have pennies. Like, what are you talking about? But by contrast, like I don't believe in all this stuff. Like I'm not superstitious. I don't believe in, like I think astrology is stupid. Like if you're one of those people who's like, oh yeah, I would never date a Sagittarius, then you're a Cancer, all right? Lowercase c. Huh. All right, like I don't believe in God or Easter Bunny or Santa. I don't believe in Santa. All right. By the way, that last one is my parents' fault. All right, they didn't want me to believe in Santa because they didn't want me growing up thinking a white man would ever give anything away for free. But yeah. So, anyways, like my parents are very superstitious, and I'm not. All right. So it was a bit of a weird thing that happened when, like last Christmas, my parents called me and they're like, "Hey, you got to come to Hong Kong right away." Because we spoke to a seer and he said, you're going to die. I was like, what the fuck are you talking about? What are you talking about? That's crazy. They're like, no, we talked to the seer because your Auntie Maria has a seer. I'm like, why does Auntie Maria have a seer? And so like, just to give you a little bit of background. So Auntie Maria, she's, she's like a friend of the family. We just call friends of the family, auntie. She's not actually my auntie, all right? But she's like really rich, all right? She's like super rich. She's like she's the one on the right. Like that's the level we're talking here, right? So, you know, and then what happened is, and this is the unfortunate part, like she had a son and her son died. It was very unfortunate. And then in her grief, she found this seer. And the seer told her that her son was a god that had been reincarnated. All right. And the god had come down to earth, took a look around and was like, you know what? You know, like I've had enough. This is what they saw, right? They saw shit like this. And the god was like, I'm done. I'm going back. All right. So, and by the way, I don't, amongst the many things I don't believe, I also don't believe in reincarnation, you know, but I do like the idea, you know, like I like the thought of like a rich white man like walking down Wall Street with $1,000 noise canceling headphones, gets hit by a limo, and then he's immediately ejected from a uterus into the Ganges. I think that tickles me. But my parents are like, no, you have to come because the seer said you're gonna die. And I was like, that's crazy. Like, I can't come to Hong Kong. Like, I have a job, because I had a job back then. I don't now. I'm never going to be employed again. This is great. So I was like, this is insane. I don't want to come to Hong Kong. I have things to do. And they're like, no, but this is real. This guy is real. All right. Like, he solves crimes. Like, the Hong Kong police uses him to solve crimes. I'm like, that says a lot less about this guy's talents as a seer and way more about the quality of the Hong Kong police, I think. It's insane. And yeah, so my parents are like, they're still trying to convince me. And I was like, this is a scam. He's trying to make money off you. This is a scam. Because again, I don't believe in anything, right? And they're like, it's not a scam. You gotta go. I was like, look, do you really believe in this stuff? And they're like, no. I was like, good, we're done. Let's not talk about it anymore, right? So I thought this was over. The next day, they call me back and they're like, so we went back to see the seer. I was like, what the fuck? Did we not just have this conversation? And they're like, well, the seer said you don't have to, he can fix this. Like, you don't have to die. I was like, great. He said, but you don't have to come to Hong Kong either. I was like, great. He's like, but what you have to do, you have to send some clothing to Hong Kong, and he will be able to like see your aura from that clothing, and he'll be able to fix your aura. And I was like, that's insane. And I was like, well, what kind of clothing he's talking about? They're like, well, it has to be something that's close to you, like your underwear, I was like, yeah, that will definitely have some aura on it. He was like, yeah, send your underwear to Hong Kong right away. And I was like, have you guys even considered the fact that this just might be a dude with a very specific fetish? It's fucked up. So anyways, now I'm at like the FedEx, because like I have to send this underwear to Hong Kong overnight. My parents like, send it overnight because he said you might die soon. So I'm like, okay. So it's like, I go to, it's $117 to send this fucking underwear to Hong Kong overnight. And this is insane. I was like, this is all a scam. This is still a scam. I don't understand what the scam could possibly be. Like, I don't know. I don't know, but it's a scam. It is a scam. So anyway, so my underwear is now in Hong Kong. All right, so I've sent my underwear to Hong Kong. My parents, they're like, this is how the rest of the story goes, right? So they had to fly this seer to some like little temple in the middle of Hong Kong. So they paid for that flight, and I was like, oh, that's the scam. You gave them money. That's a scam. And my parents were like, shut the fuck up. The story's not over. They didn't say shut the fuck up, but like that was the tone, right? And my parents are now, they have to like take a boat to mainland China. They have to like go 5 hours on a train to this little temple in the middle of nowhere. And then when they get there, the seer is like, lie down this stone bed for hours. My dad's so mad, by the way. And he's like, lie down in a stone bed. And then he goes off in his other room. And for 3 hours, he's like chanting and like doing God knows what and burning incense and just, I don't know what he's doing. But he's in there playing with my underwear. And then a few hours later, he comes back and he's like, it's fixed. And it's like, great. That's great. And anyways, and then so this is what they have to do next. My parents, he says to my parents, he's like, okay, so now what you have to do is you have to like, your son has to wear red underwear for a week. Because of course. And then you have to take like these papers, and he wrote like a bunch of stuff on these papers with like Chinese on it, which I didn't know what it said because I'm illiterate, but I assume it said suckers. And to put that down, they're getting an old Buddha and put this really old Buddha on top of the papers, right? And that's it. And then after a week, you burn the papers and then everything is solved. And then I was like, where are you supposed to get an old Buddha? And he was like, oh, you're supposed to, go to the village in town, buy an old Buddha at the market. And I was like, that's it. That's the scam. All right. He's in cahoots. He's in cahoots with like a Buddha vendor. and this is a scam. This is how they get people to buy Buddhas. I don't know. And then, so then this is the weird thing. Like my parents are like, no. Like this is what happened. Like apparently this guy, he has this huge Buddha collection. All right. And like people have offered him like upwards of $50 million for this Buddha collection. I was like, who the fuck is this dude? He's like crazy rich. He solves crimes. Like, who is this guy? And my Auntie Maria got really mad at him. He was like, well, you can't tell him the son was going to die, then make him buy a Buddha. Just give him one of your Buddhas. All right. So he did. And he gave my parents one of his Buddhas. And actually, I should have brought it down here because it's actually upstairs right now. And, but yeah, they brought this Buddha down. This Buddha is like super intricate. It's like 300 years old. It's carved from bamboo root. It's a national treasure. Like, it's worth like, if I took it to Antique Roadshow, my parents were like, this is worth 5 figures easy. I was like, what the fuck? It's like, I was like, how did you get this out of China? It's a national treasure. Like I don't know how they smuggled it out because it's not like a big Buddha, but it's bigger than a butt, like for sure. And I was just like, this is crazy. And I was like, hold up a second, this thing is real. They're like, yeah. So this wasn't a scam. They're like, no. I was like, I was gonna die. They were like, yeah. So anyways, I wore the red underwear for a week, and then I did the papers, I burned the papers, and then nothing. And I was like, nothing's different. I don't understand like what this was all about. And then a week after that, I was just sitting in my place. And then all of a sudden, like I just felt this overwhelming feeling that something was different. Like I felt like somebody had plucked on the cosmic strings that connected me to the universe. I felt something permeating through that infinity. And for the first time in my life, I felt the presence of what some people might refer to as God. And I thought, this is gonna change me. And then the shrooms wore off and everything was back to normal. And but what did stick with me, all right? What did stick with me is, like my parents, they went to extraordinary lengths to save me from this death that might just be the figment of a monk's imagination. Like they took a boat to mainland China. They got on a train for 5 hours, lay on a stone bed for hours while this pervert played with my underwear, which, by the way, he returned. What? Yeah, I know, he returned it. It was great. But here's, look, I still don't believe in God or the Easter Bunny or Santa, but I believe in my parents, right? And that's enough for me, And like that, and now if I can just get them to believe in my career, that would be the fucking miracle. All right. Okay. Thank you. Fantastic. Thank you guys so much. Let's bring it back to Carol.
Hey, great, Leonard. I don't think what is worse. I don't know what is worse, like to give out your underwear or people returning it. I think the returning part is hard, I think, right? I want to give people context. We have this show is a real international show because we have comics. Leonard and I, we are in Toronto. Yumi is in Vancouver. Jennifer and Maher, they are in the US. So that's why the Trudeau reference. I don't know if you guys know that Trudeau was caught. He did brown face. And then maybe everyone knows.
Yeah.
And one thing that Leonard mentioned that I really loved it is the movie Crazy Rich Asians, right? I loved it. And I think we had one too. We Latinos, we had our version of the Crazy Rich Latinos. It's called Narcos. That's it. That's how crazy we are. Okay. Guys, one of our next performer is a person who I'm very excited about watching. She is from the US. She's a comic that has been doing the shows with Kim and Improbable comedy for a while, I guess. And I'm very excited to hear about her. Put your virtual hands together for Jennifer Amo.
Hey, everybody. Hi, guys. So for my set, my story, I've decided to do something personal because I was like, this makes sense. Do it on Zoom and YouTube Live because that's how you get community. You can tell I'm a millennial. Show my trauma. No. So for me, what I recognized was like growing up with immigrant parents from Ghana, I never really fit in. I was either too American for my Ghanaian parents or for the Ghanaians, or I was too Ghanaian for Americans. And so kind of, I felt like I was a fish out of water. And the one time where I felt like I belonged was my trip to Ghana, my first trip to Ghana. And I kind of want to tell that story. So it's 2016. I've finally saved enough money. I've saved up enough leave from the military. I told everybody that I'm finding my roots. They're making jokes about it. They're saying coming back to America, African style. I'm like, yeah. And so it's great. So I tell my mom and she wants to go with me, but my brother's sick. And so she can't go. And she's like, don't go. It's a scary place. But I'm like, no. Like, it's been so many years. It's been 26 years. I gotta go. Because like when I was younger, I always wanted to go, but there was always a funeral. So I used to think that people just died randomly in Ghana and there was just always funerals left and right. But I was 8, so I had problems. So I go to Dulles Airport. I'm wearing my winter clothes and stuff like that because it's December. I'm on the flight. I feel like it's a sign from God because there's nobody there. I'm like, yes. And then this Ghanaian lady who's older sits by me and she brings me down the whole flight. She's kind of like, so you're Ghanaian and you don't speak Tree well? And I'm like, yay for Ghanaian guilt. Love it. So then, okay, so we're flying, 9-hour flight. We get there and it's amazing. We land and the heat that hits me, I'm like, wow, like I'm in Africa. Like I'm in Africa. Like this is not a joke. And so then we go inside the airport and there is the luggage and it takes like 2 to 3, actually maybe 3 hours for me to finally get my luggage. And it's just a regular conveyor belt. And I'm kind of like, if this is how the luggage is, I wonder how the rest of the country is. Like I think maybe my mom is kind of right. So finally get my luggage and stuff like that. I'm like, all right, I'm ready. I go to customs. I had some issues and I was trying to explain it to the customs lady and I can tell she does not understand my English. She says in Tree like, "Brafu din din din," which means like, I'm speaking English too much for her. And she's just like, Madam, enjoy your stay. Please go. And she's like, hey. And I'm like, but wait. She's like, please go. I'm like, okay, thank you. So then I walk outside, right? I have all my luggage. I'm waiting for my best friend, Akuya. I walk outside and I don't see her. I just see colors and heat and everything else. And I go to my phone and I guess Verizon doesn't understand that Africa exists because it just like short circuits it. It's like, ah! And so I don't know what to do. So there's this porter there that comes up to me. It's like, Madam, are you from America? I'm like, well, I have no choice. So yeah, I'm from America. So he says, okay, use my phone, call the States, get your numbers, right? So I use his phone, call my mom, get all these numbers. And then after that, I'm like, oh man, people are really hospitable. He's like, Madam, I use all of my credits. Can you give me something small? And I'm like, oh, so this is my first bribe? Look at that. I'm fully a Ghanaian now. And so I give him $5 and he's like, and when an African sucks his teeth, it's not a good look. So he's like, Madam, I did all this for you and you only give me $5? And I'm like, okay. So I didn't change all my money. So I gave him 50, right? Because I needed him to stay with me and everything. Yeah. And so I wait for my best friend to come. I'm pissed because she's late. I'm like, this is my first time in Ghana. Why are you late? Africans are always late. Anyways, so I get in the car with her and I know I shouldn't ask, but I had to. I was like, what's the exchange rate? And she's like, it's 4 cedis for $1. And I was like, oh my God, I just gave this man like $200? What? And that's why it made sense when he was like, God shall bless you. Your kids will be blessed. And I'm like, oh yeah, that makes sense. So going to Ghana, like the whole trip, it was kind of amazing because I didn't feel like Black Jennifer or feel like African Jennifer. I just felt like Jennifer. Like I was actually free. I got to see my family, and living in the States, families all over the place. You don't really get to congregate with them. So you have this lonely existence. And for once, I kind of felt like, wow, like my roots run deep. They even took me to my mother's village. And this was the upgraded village part too. They wouldn't take me to the original one. And when I went there, I was like, man, her stories are right. She really did walk 5 miles, because this is crazy. And then I played this Drake song, like started from the bottom, now we're here. Everybody did not get that. They were looking at me like I was crazy, but I was like shooting it like a music video. Something was wrong with me. And like just seeing all my cousins and my aunts and my uncles all in that room, and them all just talking to me and just loving me. It was the first time I kind of felt complete. There was this other time too, like being with my best friend Akuya. Akuya had this, like, we were kind of the total opposites, right? So I had 2 Ghanaian parents, and I grew up here and I couldn't speak Tree well. And she had one Ghanaian parent who was kind of like my father, and she could speak Tree like we used to call it Kung Fu Tree, because they could just punch you in your throat, because she just had a command over the language. I remember one time we were trying to negotiate, because I was trying to get like some souvenirs back, and we were trying to negotiate, and she told me, shh, because once they hear your accent, they're gonna raise the price, right? And so you could see she's battling, bam, 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 you know, and we almost get like the perfect price. And then this lady can sense that I'm not from there. And so she's like, Madam, do you like the way this scarf looks? And I'm like, yeah, it looks really good. And then right there, I just blew up the whole situation. And I was like, dang, my bad. But that's me. But the thing about it, it was just an amazing experience, because like I got to go to the slave castles, and I saw the door of no return, and I got to see like the other side of the Atlantic. And it made me really just in touch with the descendants of people who are suffering right now, and understanding like just how tremendous the journey was. And also just understanding that like colonialism and slavery are 2 sides of the same coin, because the fact that colonialism and the effects of it made me go to a whole new country that wasn't my parents', that they had to travel just for that experience. I was amazed. But there were, I mean, of course there were like funny moments, great moments. There was this one time we were going to a police checkpoint. I don't really mess with the police, nothing against them, but I'm like, eh. But, you know, they had stopped us and I didn't say anything, I kind of looked away. And then my friend was, like the police was talking to my friend and Tree, and they were like, what's wrong with her? And he was like, no, she's from America. So, you know, the police. And he was like, he said it in like some real thick English. And he was like, oh, madam, we don't kill people here. You're okay. You can enjoy your life. But if you want to give me something small for Christmas, amen. And I'm just like, yay. Wow. But I even got to ride a horse. You know, I was living my best life. I rode a horse. I flirted with some boys. My hair was glistening. You know, I mean, granted, I didn't meet any Ghanaian boys. I met Nigerians, but that's just me everywhere I go. And I really got to connect with my best friend Akuya, because she had gone through so much when she was here in America. Her mother had cancer. She moved back to Ghana because she was an environmentalist and she wanted to change the world. And we really, I felt free in that moment, being around her and understanding her passion. And so when my trip had ended, we went to the airport, Akuya, my best friend, and my family, and they were all just wishing me goodbye. And it just felt like love, and it felt like I finally belonged. And it was just a touching moment, because that was the last time I saw her alive, because she died the next year. And she gave me so many gifts. And in that moment, just having that completion and feeling like I belonged, I recognized that, like, granted, love has grief tied to it, because you're eventually going to lose people. But I had that memory of joy, that memory of happiness. And that was something that was in my heart. And I'll forever thank her for that. So yeah, that's my story.
Wow.
Sorry for depressing people.
Thank you so much, Jennifer.
That was amazing.
It was really great. It is so, you said something about like getting in touch with your roots. And it is so weird, like this moment, this pandemic thing, I've been so much in touch with my Brazilian friends and my family that I usually don't want to talk with. But it is when you see, yeah, man, it's different. Like I just, by the way, I just got my work visa approved, so I'm moving to the US when possible, you know. And but I do feel like I've been living in the American empire, you know, like Latin America. We just are at the weaker link of the colonialism, you know, of this entire history. And I mean, we can only hope that people are actually waking up right now, you know, like that all of this it's going to turn into something good for all the people, right?
Mhm.
Because it is hard because when you study uh history in school and stuff, it's I get so angry. I get so angry. Every book I read like about the Mayas, the Aztecas empire. Like I wanna man, I don't know what I want to do. You know? So I write jokes. That's what I do. But thank you so much, Jennifer. Thank you so much, guys. Put your
Yeah,
virtual hands together for
You
Jennifer.
guys.
And I'm so self-conscious about my laughter here, guys, because I have a really weird laughter. Like it's so loud and just crazy to be for you guys to have an idea. There's a TV show in Brazil that they taped my laughter, and when they want the audience to laugh, they put my laughter like on the thing. It's such like this. You're gonna you're gonna have the opportunity to see.
Oh,
It's like a Latina spell. Like the laughter is like a, you know. But guys, let's keep this show rolling, or what? Or what? I want to see reactions. That's what I want to see. Your motherfucking reactions right now. Send me a reaction. Yes, Lauren has. Send a Joseph, Kenma. I don't know if I'm Sophia. Here we are. What else? Who else? Nayla, Steve Johnson. Guys, I'm pronouncing your names with my accent. So this is so weird. When I have to say some name, I have my Brazilian accent plus the English accent for a name that is not in English. It's crazy. So you forgive me, please. So yes, guys. So let's put your hands together for this next comic. Also comes from the U.S. and I'm very excited to hear his stories. I heard so many good things about this comic. I'm really excited to hear him tonight. Put your virtual hands together for Maher Matta.
Thank you, Carol. Thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me. It's a pleasure to be here. I hope you can see me okay. I'm sitting in the corner. Wanted to give you an effect of being in my living room, I suppose. I'm actually in an Airbnb, just for full disclosure, in case anyone's going to investigate later. It's a pleasure to be here. I can't actually pronounce anyone's name, so I won't say hello to anyone, except for perhaps Kim and Nate and Steve. Those are the only names I can say. The rest of you can message me later on pronunciation. Nevertheless, here we are. We're gonna have a good time. I like Maruf. Is that how you say your name, sir? Is that how you say? I like that name. That's an interesting name. Maruf in Arabic, which means known or aware of. I'm just looking at my stopwatch here. So I'm excited to be here. Like I said, I'm a Lebanese Arab American. Any Arab Americans in the house? If you can drop a message here, because I don't know, you're probably out smoking, but that's fine. We're here nevertheless, and I'm going to tell you two couple of stories that I have for you. By the way, I'm sorry, I grew a beard yesterday because I'm Middle Eastern, and it only took a day. And so it's very itchy. Apologize if I touch my face a lot. I also have a skin disorder. Having said that, I'm here now. We're going to have a lot of fun. My nose looks very Middle Eastern in this video. Oh my gosh, it's like 3D. I feel like anyway. That doesn't matter. That was racist, actually, if you laughed. So here we are. I have a couple of stories for you. We're going to have a good time. Looks like Cass is hanging up a flag of sorts. She has walked away to hang up a flag. She's landing a helicopter. I don't know what she's doing, but she's back now. Okay, this is gonna be fun. So I've got a couple of stories for you. They're very depressing. They're very sad, but they're funny. That's the thing about the immigrant story, in my opinion, usually revolves around something very funny. I'm still laughing at when Jennifer said she landed and she saw that luggage and she said, "Well, what's the rest of the country like?" That's precisely how. That's to me. To me, that sums up the foreign story so well, because that's how Lebanon is, you know. So I left Lebanon when I was 3, and now I'm 6. So it's been 3 years, and no, I'm 37, in case you're wondering. So as you can tell, my name is Maher, but as you can see, I'm rather bald, very bald actually. And okay, so when I started losing my hair very early, like 7 a.m. And my mom took me to the doctor. And this is what she said. She goes, "Doctor, fix him." That's what she said, because she doesn't speak English very well. And so the doctor said that, you know, she said that to the doctor because I was balding. I was losing my hair very fast. It was literally falling out as I'm talking to the doctor. It's very embarrassing. I'm sweating profusely. So I was 15 years old at the time. I was losing my hair very quickly. And I lived in a southern state of the United States. It's my home state. It's a beautiful place. People were very nice to me. I never had any issues or anything. But I went to a high school that was all Anglo. It was a predominantly white high school. And by predominantly, I mean it was all white. So thank you for that laugh, Hannah, who says, "Ha ha ha, fix him." Thank you, Hannah, for bringing up that terrible memory. Once again, Hannah. No, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. So my mom, the doctor gave me, I was 15 years old. He gave me Rogaine, you know, which this was early 2000s or late 90s. I don't remember when it was. So you take the Rogaine and, well, you spray it on your head, you spray it on the scalp, and Kim knows this. It worked miracles on my back and face. No, Kim's heard the joke. That's not what I meant. Kim's heard the joke. I didn't mean Kim's used Rogaine. Look at her. She looks like Yanni. So Rogaine worked miracles on my back and shoulders. Okay, it really, my Arabness really came out. Rogaine. I'm glad some of you like that joke. So I wanted to, here's what happened. Now, mind you, I go to like an all-low high school, and I wanted to try out for the team. This is, by the way, comics shouldn't say this, but I'm going to say it anyway. This is a true story. A lot of comics will say that, like, "Oh, this is a true story." They say that on stage, like, "This is a true story." And comics, I think, say that to kind of like lift the story. No, but folks, this is literally a true story. So I wanted to try out for the high school basketball team. And I show up, and again, it's an all Anglo school. Now, I am the Rogaine story. In addition, I'm a hairy man. I'm essentially like a thin bear, really, like an out of shape bear. And so I show up. I'm glad you guys, I can see the laughter. That's a good sign. That's a good sign. I can't hear it, but that's okay. I pretend. This is how comedy works. You don't know if it's working or not, and you go home and cry. So I show up to the high school basketball tryouts. Okay. Now, first of all, it was very important I make the team because I was the closest they had to black. So they needed me to give them, a shooter or something, something like it. So I show up, and I'm hairy as a girl at that point. And the coach goes, this is what happens. He goes, "Okay, boys, here's what I want. Shirts against skins," which means half of you. Marla looks like she got that reference. So it means half of you have to take off your shirt to try out. Okay. Now, at that point in high school, I was ESL and IBS, the two worst acronyms you can have at the same time. So he says, shirts against skins. So at that point, I'm praying. I'm like, whoever's listening, Jesus, Muhammad, Allah, God, whatever, just please. And I wasn't even religious. Please don't let me be a skin. That's the last thing I need right now is take my shirt off and embarrass myself in front of, everybody. So the coach he goes like this. He goes, okay, shirt, skin. He's getting close to me. And he goes, shirt, lands, like slow motion. He goes, scoot, like slow motion, right? I peed from the IBS. I was so nervous. So he says, shirt, skin. So I'm a skin. I have to take my shirt off. I have no choice. So I leaned down and I did it dramatically. I was like, I took it off immediately. The theme song to Lion King came on. It was just, Chivaya. A rhino ran across the room. It was disgustingly embarrassing. I made the team. And the coach, without missing a beat, I'm looking at my time here. The coach, without missing a beat, he goes like this. He goes, okay, Billy, you go. He's looking at the board. He's like, Billy, you go over there. Tommy, you go on that side. And Maher, let me get you. Oh, damn. Is he the mascot or what's going on here? I don't know. So it's very awful. I made the team though, in case you're wondering. I got 3 minutes here. I'm gonna tell you one more story. This is a very sad story. It's sadder than the first one, so buckle up. Hashtag trauma from Hannah. That's very true. Very true, Hannah. Once again, making me feel bad, reminding me of the trauma and the pain that comes back. That was funny but devastating. Thank you so much. That's very true. These comments are very sad. They're actually helping me. I feel a little better. Better a comic than a mascot, says Kim. Thanks, Kim. Very interesting comments. I'm glad I did this show today. I was feeling rather depressed today. I feel even more depressed. So thank you. So here's what happened. Trauma porn, says Jennifer. I'm not sure what that means. Oh, I see, because I took off my shirt, perhaps. Okay. Usually porn leads more to that, but I don't watch it because it's forbidden. No, I don't care. So I will tell you this. I don't care. Who cares? It's not forbidden. What does that even mean? So, okay. So here's the last story. Wrap it up here in 2 minutes. 2 minutes. 2 minutes. Here we go. I was born in Lebanon, and in Lebanon, you're baptized as a Catholic if you're a Catholic, not a Muslim, and we were Catholic. So we were baptized instantaneously from the hospital to the church. Boom, boom, you're baptized. They don't waste any time because you don't want to go to hell right away. So they baptized us as babies. And then we moved to the South, and my mom wanted to get baptized in the Southern Baptist Church because we started going to a Southern Baptist church. I know, Jennifer, you're cocking your head. You're wondering, why did we go to that church? Well, there were no Arabic-speaking churches in the area, and there were certainly no Catholic churches in the area. So we ended up going to this. Now there are Arabic-speaking churches there. However, we went to this Southern Baptist church, and we couldn't understand them, and they certainly couldn't understand us. So there's a lot of translation issues. Having said that, my mom wanted to get baptized. I will warn you, though, Arab people are not exactly swimmers, okay? We don't like water. As a matter of fact, Jennifer knows. As a matter of fact, you'll never see an Arab dive team in the Olympics. It's not going to happen. You're not going to see some guy standing there looking at the water going, this is too deep. I cannot jump. No, game over. It's not going to happen. So my mom I got 30 seconds, wrap it up. My mom, bless her heart, she wants to get baptized. And they've got the pool there, right? And me and my brother are watching. And so, a normal person gets baptized like this. Let's pretend this is your body. You go like this, you go like that, and you walk away. My mom, for some reason, her entire torso, like legs, everything, all of my mom, all of her body, her entire body went like this, just everything lifted. And that's not how it's supposed to work. It's supposed to go like that. Her whole body went like that. Right. And I could see it through the glass. It was really weird. And the preacher didn't know what to do. So he just pushed her down. He just goes, blah, 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 like he just drowned her. He saved her by drowning her. Now, having said that, it didn't take, she's going to hell. Thanks so much. Those were my two depressingly sad stories as a Lebanese Arab American moving to this USA. Thank you guys for having me.
Put your heads together for Maher. Maher? It's Maher, or it's just for the joke?
No, it is Maher. You got it.
That's great, man.
Perfect. Thank you. Thanks, guys.
Thank you so much. That was great, man. That was great. Guys, listen to Maher podcast, The Bald Spot. The Bald Spot. Listen to his podcast. Guys, are you ready for our last performer of the night? I want to see virtual hands. I want to see movement. I want to see everything. Everybody give me a reaction. Are you alive? Where are you guys? Let's see it. I see some Brazilians here. Luis Felipe, this guy is Brazilian, I'm sure. Hello. Thanks for coming. Are you in Brazil or are you are you immigrants too?
We're in Toronto.
Oh, you're in Toronto. Oh, good. Welcome to the show. There's always fun. Like when there's Brazilian, you guys should go to a Brazilian party when everything is fine, okay? Because we know how to party. Like Brazilian parties is like, I mean, you're gonna be. At some point, the police is gonna arrive. Like that's in Brazil when we think like, oh, this party was good is because there was the police involved, pregnancies, you know, all of the things happen. So I recommend, okay? So be friends with Luis Felipe there because he's gonna invite you to a party, okay? Guys, okay, let's do it. Let's go. Let this girl, I love her so much. We taped a TV show together, stand up together in Winnipeg, right? And I met her there, and since then we've became like good friends, and I love her so much. I want you guys to put your virtual hands together for Yumi Nagashima.
Hello. Hi, lovely people on Zoom. How's it going tonight? Good. My name is Yumi, like you and me. And my soulmate is Cardi B. And my soul food is rice, miso soup, and sweet marijuana. Nice to meet you. Guys, I'm a big fan of Ariana Grande, but her accidentally getting a tattoo in Japanese that says small charcoal grill instead of 7 rings was quite funny. It's like a Japanese pop star getting a tattoo in English that says George Foreman Grill instead of 7 black daddies because Japanese people are weird. It's so hard to find friends in Vancouver. I have one friend, his name is Richard Letts, and he goes to choir practice every Thursday. And one Thursday, he asked me to join, so I decided to join. But apparently, throughout the songs, people can detect my accent. And after the class, one lady came to fix my accent. She said, "Repeat after me. Hallelujah." And I said, "Fuck off." When there's mutual love and mutual consent, sex is fun, sex is beautiful, sex is a great exercise. I know it because I wear Fitbit during sex. I didn't have to tell you that. I don't know why I said that. I have a manager, and he is really close friends to Nickelback, Chad Kroeger. And according to my manager, Chad Kroeger has a huge dick. So big that he could suck his own penis. Now that my theory is that when you have enormous penis, life is good. You don't have to worry about anything. Your brain can get to stay as a playful little child. I'm pretty sure Chad writes his song with his penis. Never made it as a wise man. I work with drag queens a lot, and why is that when they wear full-on makeup, it's so empowering, and when girls wear same amount of makeup, some people think it's a sign of insecurities. I'm a huge believer of RuPaul's quote, "We are all born naked and the rest is drag." So from the level of zero makeup to Black China, we are all okay. If it makes you happy, express yourself. It can't be that bad. The other day, my friend Amy said, if I see another hipster opening up some pretentious coffee bar, I will kill myself. So I said, cool, when's your funeral? Because I love hipsters because they reject anything they deem to be too popular. So if they want, like, you know what? Mainstream comedy is not cool anymore. We want to see a female comedian with color and with some exotic accent. If hipster didn't exist, I wouldn't be performing comedy here tonight because I would be too discouraged by the amount of redneck people trying to say hello to me in Chinese.
That's so true.
And I have a weak spot for men with buns because I am samurai descent. A hipster barista with man bun who makes me matcha soy latte is my spirit animal. You guys been so much fun, but I'm gonna leave you with this story. This is a real story. Real story. This really happened. My grandpa got hospitalized for pneumonia, and you know, he's 98 years old, and we were kind of preparing that he wouldn't be able to return. But 2 weeks ago, he recovered and he returned. And I asked him, hey, Grandpa, you're 98 years old. Can you give me your secret of good health? And he gave me this beautiful song. Do you guys want to hear it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, ukulele. Okay.
Jinse nanteもうどうでもいい死にたいや死にたいや Well, it means my elbow joints super fucked up. I just wanna die. Oh, kill me now. Thank you.
Thank you, Yumi. That was great. Thank you so much. Guys, this was our show. Thank you so much for coming. We're really happy to meet you guys. Julie, Maruf, Luis Felipe. I want to say everyone's name. Cass, Steve, Nayla, Wendy, I don't know, everybody, Julie, Leon, Liz, everybody, guys, thank you so much. Our next show is going to be August 4th. So put in your calendars. Follow us on the Instagram. Follow the comics. Follow me at Zoccoli Carol. This is my name. If you can spell like right, is here the names right. So at Zoccoli Carol. Maher is at Maher _ Matta. Yumi is at Nagashima Yumi. Jennifer is at IM _ JSA. Leonard is at the Leonard Chen. Follow also Improbable Comedy and CSL Comedy as a second language on Instagram. And guys, thank you so much. Have a great night. And that's it. We are together in this world. And if motherfuckers put up walls, we grab a fucking plane and we fly, motherfuckers. Have a good night, guys. Thank you so much.